Good morning, Dr. Sroka. Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's a great morning.
Excellent. Well, tell us a little bit more about you and your journey that's brought you here.
Well, first of all, I just want to say to everybody watching this, thank you for being here. I feel so good here to be in Florida at this conference because many of them don't know that I'm almost an honorary member of Disney, and I was Disney Health Teacher of the Year and had my own personal hat put together, so it's really kind of cool to be here.
Very good.
And of course, I wouldn't be here without school nurses too. My journey has been interesting because I've had so many issues with health when I was young. Actually, I failed the third grade. My report card says at the top, the teacher wrote, these are the real words, parent notified boys retarded. I mean, the word is right on the report card. And interestingly misspelled, which is kind of interesting. But I had all kind of health problems when I was young. I had a crossed eye from a fight. We couldn't afford glasses, so I went through school with a crossed eye. People saying, "Look at me, look at me!" And you couldn't. I couldn't because my eye was sent away. And then I had a stutter. I couldn't say my name. My name is Steve Sroka. And whenever kids would look at me, they go, I get so mad. And then. But you just kind of keep moving on, and then in high school I couldn't well, I'm also, if you haven't figured out, I'm ADHD and dyslexic, So those were gifts though, but I didn't realize at the time. In high school I could not compete academically, so I started to shoot the rock, which is an expression for playing basketball. And what happened is these two brothers one day after a game beat me up so badly, they knocked both of the bones out of my hips.
Oh my goodness.
There must have been a nutritional issue there too, but I actually was told I'd never walk again. And the doctors came in and said, you better start to use your brain because your body's not going to work. I said, how can I use my brain? I'm retarded. And the doctor said, time to get unretarded. And I said, how do you get unretarded? He said, start to listen to your teachers. And the more I listened, the smarter they got. And I wanted to say right now, I use that R word. It doesn't bother me because I really know that word means slow. It doesn't mean stupid. But I out of respect for some people don't want to hear the word, but it is my life. And so I'm telling the story. I was very involved with health early on because of all the things that happened to me. I actually got a degree in chemistry, became a polymer chemist, and one night woke up and said, is this the meaning of life? Making beer can coatings. And for some people it might be. But I thought, maybe I can go back and help some people like me. And I went back and I started to teach in the inner city and realized how many health problems were there and with my health problems. And I just gravitated towards health. And who really talks about health in school? It's school nurses. And
That's
so
right. That's right.
My history is my health problems turn into a pathway, a journey to help other people. And that's why I'm here talking today with school nurses, because this is what I live for.
Excellent. Well, you have said in your work that the challenges of building relationships are based on the 4 C's. Tell us what those are and how you think they impact relationships.
This is so important, whether you're a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, preacher. If you can't relate, nothing else matters. You can have the most educated nurse in the country. But if they can't, as they say with the kids, if you can't kick it with a flavor, if you can't say it in a way kids can understand, it doesn't work. So I've done a lot of work with building relationships, and I've taken the data and kind of synthesized it into sound bites so people can understand it. But I think everybody to be to build that relationship, you need to have the 4 C's. And the first C is communication, in that I have to say things in a way you can understand. If you can't tell me what I just said, you don't know what I said. So communication is important. The other one is collaboration. Every school nurse is important, but you cannot do that by yourself. School health is more than the office, and so you have to work with the community, because if you can't hook up with the resources, where do these kids go when school's out? Where do they go to the summer after school? Third one is cultural competency. As the kids say, you got to kick it with the flavor. You got to say it in a way you can understand, and you can't give a wake-up call in a foreign language. If you only speak Spanish and I'm speaking English, it's not going to work. You got to be culturally sensitive. And the last one is caring, which is obvious. We all know if you don't think I care, you don't care what I have to say. So those 4 C's are really, really important, and everyone, no matter what you do, need to have that, because relationships are everything.
Yeah, they really, really are. What would you give some of our school nurses some tips to keep their students and their school communities safe and healthy?
the first thing I would do is give them more money. Because
I think everybody might agree with that.
they're underpaid. There's a lot of different things you can do. I think I have some general ideas. I think the first thing is that we need to learn all we can. Knowledge is power. I think that's really important to get across to nurses as well as to students and community. The other one is the secret of life. The secret of life is if you want to help yourself, you help others. And that's the beauty of being a nurse. And the third one that I've learned, unfortunately, dealing with school violence for decades, is that you better tell the people you love them today, because there is no guarantee tomorrow. And when you hear a parent cry who's lost a kid and said, you talk to these parents, just tell them all you got is memories. Create memories today.
Absolutely. So you believe that one person can make a difference with the power of many. Mm-hmm. So how does that play out in schools today with our school nurses? I
think right now you realize very quickly you cannot do it yourself, but you can make a difference. I work with Native Americans. We have a saying on the res, and some reses, because every res is different, but one of the things, and when I do Native presentations, we often call it the power of one, building relationships, and with the tag that you have the power one to start a fire, but you need the power of many to keep that fire burning. So trying to get that message out that we need to work together is very, very important.
Yeah, I think that's very important. So the pandemic affected everybody, obviously, in very different ways. And many of our school nurses are saying that they're burned out. How do you think they get that spark back?
Well, first of all, they got to do what they're telling everybody to do. That's what's kind of weird. All the stuff they told you a long time ago that we know are essential, people are not doing right now. So it's so simple, it's stupid. What should we be doing? We should be sleeping more. Everybody knows that, and they're not doing it. We should be moving more, but no one's doing it. We should be eating less, but people aren't doing it. We need to deal with stress, whether you walk it out, talk it out, pray it out. All these basic things that we always told people to do, we should be doing now. And once you do that, and you get in control of yourself, you find your why again.
What do you think you focus on if maybe some of our school nurses who are just starting out, they're not sure what their why is? How do you find that? How do you focus in on that?
That is so neat, Jen, because a nurse asked me that last night. She's just starting, not sure of everything. And my suggestion is follow your heart. Follow your heart. Because some things, being a school nurse is not a job, it's a mission. It's something that you feel. And if you've got this feeling that you should be a school nurse, but you can become a CPA, it's always going to chew a hole in your heart going, maybe when I retire, I'll go back and be a school nurse. But I think to follow your heart's really, really important, because what we do, there's nothing more important. There's nothing more important than what school nurses do. Saving lives, saving kids, come on. It's a calling. It's a good one.
It is a calling. It is a calling. We have time for probably just one more question, I think. So what last thoughts would you like to leave our school nurse audience with?
I want them to know this. They need to become a cheerleader for school nurses. School nurses need to let other people know what they're doing. At a staff meeting, ask for 1 minute. Stand, tell them what you're doing in your office every day. You've got to become a cheerleader for school nurses. All school nurses do right now, because people really don't know what you do, except put bandages on, right? That's all you do. So that's really important. The other one, as we said before, you have the power one to start a fire, but you need the power man to keep that fire going. And probably the most important thing I wish nurses would say and realize in their heart and in the community, they're rock stars. They're doing an incredible job out there. And unfortunately, in today's world, you got to be able to market yourself, give your word out. That's my presentation going to be. School nurses need to be cheerleaders for school nurses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, to your point earlier, if nobody else has said it to you all today watching, we love you.
I love you more.
I love you.
I love you more.
And thank you for being here with us. And thank you for helping us be more than just the power of one, the power of many.
We are the power of many. And I think you know this. I was here 20 years ago. I keynoted the school nurse conference in Cincinnati in 2003. So I'm back again. But I want everybody to know I'm not getting old. I'm not getting older. I'm becoming chronologically gifted, just like all of us.
Thank you so much for being here with us today,
Thank you.
Dr. Sroka.
Okay.